There is something powerful about surrender. When you finally let go of the need to control, when you stop fighting battles that were never meant to be yours, when you breathe and release everything into God's hands, something shifts. Your heart becomes lighter. Your mind finds rest. Your soul feels peace. And right now, God is calling you into that place of trust. He's whispering to you, "My child, trust in my plan for you. Trust that I am leading you. Trust that I know what I'm doing." I know it's not always easy. Life has a way of shaking our faith. Maybe you've been praying for something, believing for something, waiting for something, and yet nothing seems to be happening. Maybe it feels like God is silent, like He's distant, like He's forgotten about you. But He hasn't. He never has. He never will. Just because you don't see the plan unfolding doesn't mean there isn't one. Just because you don't feel movement doesn't mean God isn't moving. Look back at your life. Think of all the moments you thought would break you, but somehow you made it through. Think of the doors that closed, only for better ones to open later. Think of the times you wanted something so badly, only to realize later that what God had in store was so much greater. God's plan has always been at work, even when you doubted it, even when you questioned it, even when you fought against it. And today, He is asking you to trust Him again. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to know exactly how things will work out. You just have to trust the one who does. God is not pacing back and forth in heaven, trying to figure out what to do with your life. He's not confused. He's not uncertain. He's not making things up as He goes. He has already written every chapter of your story. He knows every turn, every detour, every delay, every breakthrough. Nothing surprises Him. So why are you so afraid? Why are you so anxious? Why are you carrying a weight that was never meant to be yours? God is saying, "Give it to me. Let me handle it. Let me be God in your life." Because the truth is, we only see a tiny piece of the picture, but God sees it all. He sees what's ahead. He sees what's coming. He sees the purpose behind the waiting, the lesson in the struggle, the beauty in the delay. And if you could see what He sees, you wouldn't be worried. You wouldn't be anxious. You wouldn't be afraid. You would rest. You would breathe. You would trust. Think about Joseph in the Bible. He had a dream, a promise from God. But before he saw that dream come true, he went through betrayal, slavery, false accusations, and prison. If he had only looked at his circumstances, he might have thought, "God, where are you? This doesn't look like the plan you promised." But God was working behind the scenes the whole time. Every trial, every setback, every moment of pain was leading him to his destiny. And when the time was right, he stepped into everything God had planned for him. Your story is no different. God is preparing you, shaping you, aligning things in ways you can't even imagine. You may not see it now, but one day you'll look back and understand why things happened the way they did. One day, you'll see the beauty in the delays, the wisdom in the detours, the blessings hidden in what felt like rejection. So don't give up. Don't lose hope. Don't let fear make you doubt the plan God has for you. Right now, He is saying, "Trust me. Trust that I know what I'm doing. Trust that I am leading you exactly where you need to be. Trust that my plan for you is good." And as you trust, something will begin to shift inside you. The worry will lose its grip. The fear will begin to fade. The weight you've been carrying will feel lighter. Because trusting God doesn't mean you'll always understand everything. It just means you don't have to. You can rest in knowing that He's got you. He's leading you. He's working all things together for your good. And when you finally let go and trust Him, that's when the miracles start to happen. I know waiting is hard. I know trusting when you can't see the full picture can feel impossible. But do you know what trust really looks like? It looks like walking forward, Even when the path ahead is unclear, it looks like taking the next step. Even when you don't know exactly where it leads. It looks like believing that God's plan is still good, even when life feels anything but good. It's easy to trust when everything is going smoothly, when prayers are answered quickly, when doors open effortlessly. But real trust, the kind that deepens your faith, it happens in the waiting. It happens in the silence. It happens when nothing makes sense, yet you still choose to say, God, I trust you anyway. That's the kind of trust that moves mountains. Look at Abraham. God gave him a promise that he would be the father of many nations. But then years passed, decades, and still no child. Can you imagine what that must have felt like? To hold on to a promise from God while watching time slip away? Abraham had moments of doubt. He had moments where he tried to take matters into his own hands. But in the end, he chose to believe. He chose to trust. And in the perfect timing, God fulfilled his promise. You see, God's plan is never rushed, but it is always right. He is never late, but he is always on time. And I know that can be frustrating. We want things now. We want answers today. We want to see the full picture before we take a single step. But faith doesn't work like that. Trust doesn't work like that. Faith means walking even when you don't see the road ahead. Trust means believing that even the delays are part of God's divine timing. Sometimes, what we call delays are really God's protection. Sometimes, what we see as rejection is actually God redirecting us towards something better. Think about it. What if God had given you everything you asked for, exactly when you wanted it? Would you have been ready? Would it have truly been what was best for you? Sometimes God withholds things because he loves us too much to give them to us before we're ready. Sometimes he says, "Not yet, my child. I'm still preparing you. I'm still preparing the blessing. Trust me. When it's time, it will be better than you imagined." That's the kind of God we serve. A God who sees the end from the beginning. A God who knows exactly what we need, exactly when we need it. So instead of growing frustrated in the waiting, what if you shifted your perspective? What if, instead of seeing the waiting as wasted time, you saw it as preparation? Because that's what it is. Every delay is developing something in you. Every not yet is strengthening your faith. Every season of waiting is stretching your trust in God. And when the time is right, when your heart is ready, when everything is aligned, God will open doors no one can shut. He will make a way where there was no way. He will fulfill his promises in ways that leave you in awe. But in the meantime, he's asking you to trust him, to trust that his plan is unfolding exactly as it should, to trust that he is working behind the scenes, even when you don't see it. I know it's hard. I know doubt tries to creep in. I know the enemy whispers, God has forgotten you. He's not going to come through for you. But that's a lie. God has not forgotten you. He has not abandoned you. He is not ignoring your prayers. He is working. He is moving. He is aligning things in ways you cannot yet see. And one day, when you look back, you'll see it so clearly. You'll see why things had to happen the way they did. You'll see how every moment of waiting was leading you to something greater. But for now, trust. Trust that God's plan for you is good. Trust that his timing is perfect. Trust that even in the unknown, you are safe in his hands. And when you trust him fully, that's when peace enters your heart. That's when the anxiety fades. That's when you can finally breathe and rest, knowing that you don't have to figure everything out, because God already has. There is something powerful about surrendering your timeline to God, letting go of the pressure to have it all figured out, releasing the need to know when and how everything will happen. There is peace in saying, God, I trust you enough to wait. I trust you enough to let go. I trust that what you have planned is far greater than what I can imagine. But I know that trust isn't always easy, because the world tells us that waiting is wasted time. That if something isn't happening fast enough, we have to force it. That if we don't see results immediately, we must be doing something wrong. But God works differently. He doesn't operate on human schedules. He isn't bound by deadlines or limited by time. He is eternal. His ways are higher than ours, and what feels like a delay to us is divine timing to him. Think about David. He was anointed as king when he was just a young shepherd boy, but he didn't take the throne the next day. No, he went back to the fields. He spent years tending sheep, years being overlooked, years running for his life from Saul, years in the wilderness, wondering when God's promise would come to pass. Can you imagine how that must have felt? To know you've been chosen, to know there's a calling on your life, and yet, to wait, day after day, year after year, without seeing it fulfilled. But here's the thing. The waiting wasn't wasted. It was preparation. God was shaping David in those hidden seasons, teaching him to lead in the shadows before leading in the spotlight, developing his character, strengthening his faith, preparing him for the weight of the throne. And when the time was right, David stepped into his destiny. The same is true for you. God isn't making you wait to punish you. He isn't holding back his blessings to frustrate you. He is preparing you. He is refining you. He is building your faith so that when the promise comes, you'll be ready to receive it. But you have to trust him in the process. You have to trust that he knows what he's doing. Sometimes we think we're ready when we're not. Sometimes we want things that wouldn't actually be good for us in this season. Sometimes we ask for doors to open, but we don't realize what's on the other side. But God knows. He sees what we cannot see. He knows what we do not know. And because he loves us, he doesn't just give us what we want, he gives us what we need. So if you're in a season of waiting, if you feel like nothing is moving, if you're wondering when your breakthrough will come, let this be your reminder. God has not forgotten you. His plan is still in motion. His promise still stands. His timing is still perfect. And while you wait, trust that he is working. Trust that every delay has a purpose. Trust that he is molding you, shaping you, preparing you for something far greater than you can imagine. Because when the time is right, nothing will be able to stop what God has for you. No obstacle, no delay, no enemy will be able to stand in the way of his plan. He is the God who opens doors that no one can shut. The God who makes a way in the wilderness. The God who brings streams to the desert. And the same God who was faithful then is faithful now. So let go of the fear. Release the anxiety. Stop trying to figure it all out. And simply trust. Trust that God's plan is still good. Trust that his promises will come to pass. Trust that what he is doing behind the scenes is far greater than what you can see. Because when you truly trust him, you'll find that you don't have to chase after blessings. Blessings will chase after you. The moment you fully surrender to God's plan, something shifts inside you. The weight of worry begins to lift. The restless striving starts to fade. The need to control every outcome loses its grip. Because when you truly trust God, you understand that your life is not in your hands, it's in his. And that is the safest place it could ever be. But let's be honest. Trusting God isn't just a one-time decision. It's a daily choice. A choice to believe when doubts whisper otherwise. A choice to keep walking when the path isn't clear. A choice to let go when everything in you wants to hold on. And I know how hard that can be. I know the battle that takes place in your mind when the waiting stretches longer than you expected. When you see others receiving their breakthroughs while you're still praying for yours. When the silence feels deafening and you wonder if God is even listening. But he is. He sees you. He hears your prayers. He knows the deepest desires of your heart. and He has not forgotten about you. The enemy wants you to believe that God has abandoned you, that His promises won't come to pass, that you have to take matters into your own hands. But that is a lie. God is always working, even when you can't see it. He is always moving, even when you feel stuck. He is always faithful, even when you feel forgotten. The Israelites wandered in the wilderness for 40 years before they entered the promised land. Can you imagine the doubts they must have had? The moments of frustration? The times they wondered if they had missed their chance? But through it all, God was with them, leading them, providing for them, preparing them. And when the time was right, they stepped into the land flowing with milk and honey. That same God is leading you. He is guiding your steps. He is orchestrating every detail of your life. And when it is time, the doors will open. The breakthrough will come. The promise will be fulfilled. But until then, trust. Trust that the waiting is not wasted. Trust that the delays are divine. Trust that God is positioning you, shaping you, strengthening you for what's ahead. And when you finally step into what He has prepared for you, you will understand why you had to wait. You will see how every moment, every delay, every closed door was part of a greater plan. You will look back and say, God, now I see. Now I understand. You were always working for my good. And in that moment, you will realize that trusting God was never about getting to the destination. It was about growing in faith along the way. So today, take a deep breath. Release the worry. Surrender the timeline. And trust that God's plan for you is not just good. It's greater than anything you could ever imagine.